I always hit the water with a plan, and today's plan is to hit the bridges on the incoming tide for some sheepshead, catch some really nice ones, move on to Fluke while the current's really ripping around the bridges, and then go back for sheeps. As you can see, didn't turn out as a good start of the day.
Not what I wanted.
Sometimes you gotta grind through it and it turns awesome, just like this video. For this trip, we're fishing the day after some big storms rolled through the area, so we're not quite sure that we're going to be getting some really nice fluke in here, but we're going to give it a try while the current's too strong to fish right up against the bridges, the rocks, and docks and jetties and all of that stuff. So we're just going to start drifting some channels, looking for drop-offs, and as you can see, we're starting to pull in some short fluke. Not a ton of micros, but some really short stuff, and we're just bouncing bucktails with gulp baits. We don't have any fresh bait or live bait, and it's just not going to turn out as well as we want. So we started off at that bridge, had that really tiny baby tog, went through probably about 2 dozen fiddler crabs looking for sheep, and now we're just out looking for something to do in between the tides. So when the tides slow down, we can hit the bridges again and look for those sheepshead. And as you can see, just keep getting these smaller fish right here. This one's going to measure just at around 16. So back in the water it goes.
There we go. GoPro, start recording.
So true to South Jersey in the summer, we get a lot of boat traffic, even though this is a midweek fishing trip, and we head back into these back channels looking for some holes and drop-offs, and we find them, but we're continuing to get these short fluke coming in. You can see this one. It hit hard. I thought it was a nice one, but it's really not. It's not even close to a keeper, as you can see here, so tossing it back. But interesting, this next clip. So there you go. Jet ski comes right on top of us. I look over at Ed. It was even closer to him, and, you know, it's par for the course, but what's not is what happens next right here.
You're all good. Yeah, that's all right. Thank you, though.
Yeah, so the two girls came back and they apologized for going too fast, too close to us. You know, no harm, no foul, I guess, but just the fact that they came back and apologized made it all better. So we're just going to try here for a little bit longer. The tide is getting to the top of the tide, and we're going to go back and hit a bridge. And again, it's just short fluke, so we're going to start working our way back out of the channel. And we're going to go back to some of the bridges in the area, and we're going to just start setting up for sheep. And that's where this day turns from a whole bunch of shorts into a whole bunch of fun. Now it's the top of the tide. It's just coming out, and we headed back to the bridge. We're using Capt Hanks Sheppard Jigs and dime size to quarter size fiddler crabs, and we're just working the water column. Now this is heavily pixelated, and it's just so that we can preserve to the best of my ability, the location so that people don't see exactly where it is, but it doesn't really matter. It's a bridge, it's in New Jersey, they're gonna hold sheep.
Nice sheep. Nice sheep.
As you may be able to see on the left on the fish finder, it's about 30 feet of water, and we're working the water column. So I'm actually starting at about 3 feet, dropping in 3-foot increments, and I caught this at around 12 to 15 feet.
Holy cow. Hey, Ed. Donkey. Holy cow. I will take it. There it is. Let's get the Capt Hanks picture.
So this was just the first fish that I caught
Man.
testing the new Capt Hanks Sheppard Jig colors, and you can see here clean release, swimming back down. So that's fish number 1, but we're not done yet. So fish number 1 measured in at about 23 inches and was safely released, as you just saw. And here we go on to fish number 2, and it's going to feel just as good, if not better. Now, I want to make a point as you're going through this. You're going to see a lot of close-ups of this rod and this reel, and I want to point out that this is not an expensive setup. This is a Hurricane Calico Jack rod, which is about $40, and a Penn Pursuit 3 reel, which is about $40. So this is not an expensive setup, and it's going to hold up really well. Links to both the rod and the reel are in the description of the video.
Dude. Another one.
So yes, it's a weird measure with the grips in its mouth, but I didn't want it flopping around the deck. Wanted to make sure I released it healthy, and here you go.
Man. Ed.
Here's fish number 3, and I keep mentioning to Ed to look because we are, as I mentioned, testing his new colors to his Sheppard jig, so want him to share in the fun of it.
I can't believe it. Yeah. Yeah, this is a nice one. Man.
Now this one's going to be smaller than the other two, but still pretty good. I'm going to estimate it around 18 to 20 inches, probably closer to the 18, but I'm not keeping it regardless, so I decided I'm not even going to measure this one. I'm just going to get it out of there, get a quick picture, and get it back into the water so it can get back on the structure and get to feeding again.
Yeah. That's not bad.
This is the last fish of the day for us. We're going to head in now. It's getting a little late. And the testing was obviously a success for Ed and for Captain Hanks Tackle. So if you like this video, you're interested in sheepshead fishing yourself, popping up on the screen is a video with more sheepshead. I'll see you over there.
Ed, this prototype is awesome.